What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Okay, so we got a new developer's note last night, and this is actually going to affect a lot of people. So we got a new sneak peek. We're getting a new dungeon. This we expected. I actually heard about this a month ago. If you guys really want to know, there were rumors running around that the new destruction rune was going to be an ignored defense rune, which I was actually kind of interested in seeing something like that because it would give value to some monsters that don't have value, such as Rika or even Charlotte. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, they're great and this and that. They're good. They're not bad. Not that they don't have any value. I just thought it would give them some added value since they're natural 5-star monsters and they're being outshined by Nat 4s. So I guess that's not happening. But anyway, so they're coming out with a new dungeon. Let's talk about the new dungeon. The new dungeon is interesting, but what's really interesting is what's going on afterwards, like later on in this. But let's see what's going on over here. Attacks. So this is the new Dark Lich King. Exploit Soul. These are his skills. Attacks all enemies, recovering 50% of the damage dealt as hit points. The damage of Exploit Soul increases permanently every time the skill is used. So I'm guessing his damage is just... I'm guessing you have to kill him as fast as possible because he gets stronger and stronger every single time. Imprisons the soul of the enemy that has dealt the most damage and controls the enemy. The imprisoned soul is set free once its hit point is brought to 0. So pretty much it's like a... If you play RPGs for a long time, it's like a charm effect, and he uses one of your teammates in the dungeon as his own. Each turn, a barrier that nullifies a certain number of attacks is generated. When attacked without the barrier, the max hit point decreases by 30% of the incoming damage. Okay. Alright. Revives with 50% hit point at the moment of death. Will not be able to receive beneficial effects during battle, but instead is immune to silence or cool time, increasing skill effects. See, this sounds a little crazy. I really would want to play this dungeon to even speculate on this guy. The attack speed of all enemies and allies is suppressed and cannot exceed a certain cap. Also, all skill effects that increase the attack bar will not be activated automatically. Now, I was reading through this. All right, listen to what this guy says. The Ancient Lich King continuously revives, so you must defeat the boss by decreasing the max hit point to get through the soul barrier. You are required to bring monsters that attack multiple times. Also, because of the attack speed cap, attack speed increasing and decreasing skill effects may come in very handy. But in the meantime, you're at a cap, and you can't use attack bar influencers. Does this make any sense to everybody? To anybody? So I could be wrong, but I don't get it. How are they going to come in handy when you can't use them? Especially if there's a cap. We really have to play this boss. I think there's some sort of a mistranslation somewhere around here. The Necropolis has 5 phases and will be available at all times. Okay, fine. You will be able to acquire higher grade runes along... whatever. That's not such a big thing. Necropolis reward. Okay, so now this is what we're going to talk about. This is what really got me. Alright? So they're changing the runes around. Energy is going to stay where it is. Fatal is going to stay where it is. Blade is going to stay where it is. Now, Mount Raygon, I agree with them on this. I don't know why you get Rage runes so early when you really can't utilize Rage runes. It's not an early game. It's not an early game rune. All right, so I agree with this whole thing with changing Rage with Guard. Fine. Swift runes have been moved. It's focus runes now. Focus runes have been moved, and it's revenge runes now. Endure got changed to Tamor. Rophagus got changed to will runes. Phymon now drops swift runes. Aiden drops vampire runes. Nemesis stayed where they are. Shield stayed where they are. and then Revenge runes. The Destroy runes are in Chiruku Remains. Okay. The big change is with Dragons, Giants, and Necropolis. This benefits most of the late game players because they would rather farm dragons. So now Swift runes are going to the Dragon's Lair. So Revenge, Endure, Will, Swift, and Violent are going to be dropped to dragons. Now, I like the changes that they made. I'm going to be fully honest with you guys because there was too many runes dropping everywhere. So the additional dungeon gave us a little more, not a little more variety, but you're going to be getting less runes. You're going to be getting more runes of the ones that you want. I hope, because you know how this game trolls, all right? I hope. The thing is now that for me personally, this benefits me because I'm always looking for Swift runes and Violent runes. So, but I don't like the fact for the newer players, I really don't like the fact that they're moving Swift runes from Giants. Why? Swift runes are a necessity for newer players. Alright, the fact that they're putting Swift with Violent and in a harder dungeon, it's going to be very hard. It's going to change a lot of things PvE-wise. Alright, in the dungeons, in Trial of Ascension, for newer players now. So pretty much now, like Giants is only going to have Energy, Fatal, Blade, Guard, Focus, and Despair. Alright, you could live with Despair runes. You could probably get through Trial of Ascension with Despair runes. I still think that some monsters that you need for Trial of Ascension need Swift runes, such as Bernard. He's a great early game monster that you need. And I don't know, this changes a lot for people in the beginning, for people that are just starting out. It really does. I not that I don't like it, it's just I feel bad. You know, for me, as I said, it really does benefit me. Just to have Swift and Violent and Swift in the same dungeon is just crazy. Alright? What I do agree with what they did is they moved Rage runes to the Necropolis. I kind of do agree with that. Because Rage runes are hard to make Rage rune sets, good ones. You know, even I have a lot of trouble making really good Rage rune sets. I have better luck with Fatal runes than I do with Rage runes. So I do agree with that. And people tend to put Rage runes on monsters with like 30% crit rate, and it's like, why would you do that? You know? So, alright, so Giants is going to have... See, Giants, and now Focus runes. I'm not saying Focus runes are bad. I don't use them as much as I used to. But now people aren't going to be using Focus runes that much. Guard runes, people weren't really using them anyway. I mean, I can't tell you. I may have one or two monsters with Guard runes. It has to be a really good Guard rune for me to use it. Blade is still with the Giant, so that is a good thing, I guess. I mean, now you gotta farm Giants for a Blade set and then farm Necropolis for a Rage. So they're trying to make everybody farm everything. You're gonna have to look for runes in each and every one of them. All I know is Dragons farming is probably the best one out of them all. Now, what they're probably going to do is they're probably going to reevaluate the value of the runes. Value meaning mana-wise. So, from the way it looks, Violent runes are getting a big buff in sales, I guess, for selling them, and Vampire runes are going down. Because Vampire runes, they were pretty... You used to get a nice chunk of change when you sold Vampire runes. So, anyway, let's talk about this new rune now, too. Rune Spotlight, Destroy rune, okay. When attacking the enemy with 2 Destroy runes equipped, your enemy's max hit points will be destroyed by the amount of damage you deal, up to a limit of 4% of the max hit points. To clarify, the Destroy rune effect only decreases max hit point. However, the decreased hit point can't be recovered until the battle ends. Alright. You can only destroy up to 4% of the max hit point at a time, and can destroy up to 60% throughout the battle. The max hit point can't be decreased lower than 40% of its original value. Okay. If you equip multiple, that means if you equipped 4 of them, it's 8%, and 6 of them, it's 12%. Please note that the Destroy Rune effect does not apply to bosses. We hope, okay, fine. That's about everything. Okay, fine. So, the new Destroy Rune, I don't know, but I'm going to make a wild guess. Monsters that do multiple attacks are going to benefit from this quite a bit. You're going to be seeing people using Violent Destroy everywhere too now. That's the funny thing. Maybe. Depends on how well this works. This is pretty much going to... Again, I'm speculating now, but it might change the meta because a lot of people like to use tanky bruiser teams. So now, if they can't heal to full hit points, they're in trouble. You know, and monsters that are going to benefit from these new Destroy Runes are monsters that haven't really been used as much with multiple attacks, meaning like the PRAs, the Kung Fu Girls, definitely. I think all of the Kung Fu Girls, some of their skills hit, I think their third skills hit 4 times on all of them. 4 or 5 times. And then since they do multiple attacks and, well, depends. Maybe you do, and well, they have a built-in revenge, but I was about to say, like if you put Destroy Revenge on them, you know, stuff like that. It's going to make some nice changes in the game. I don't see exactly how, but I'm sure some people are going to integrate them where they're going to be using them quite a bit. It's going to make changes in Guild Wars, and then there's Sassoon too. Actually, these are big changes, because I'm thinking about this as I'm going along. These are pretty decent changes. Not big, huge, but pretty decent changes. If you're sitting there and you're stuck with Sassoon for 10 minutes, Sassoon can't heal the person to full hit points. So that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, it's not bad. This new rune is going to be cool. This is not bad at all. So, all right, guys. I'll talk to everybody later.